Hi guys, welcome back. So, whew, the mess. Offset. He's back at it again. And CardiB is not having it, honey. She is clapping back at him. So, you guys know that CardiB gave birth, last week, I believe. And, Offset, someone made a post and he made a comment on the post after her delivery, which is suggesting that he wants the child because based on Georgia law, if she's still married to him and she's out there having sexy time with someone, if she conceives, the baby belongs to her husband because they are still married, right? So Offset, who is not able to take up his responsibility, wants to take up someone else's responsibility. Like, let me tell you, something is wrong with Offset. I don't know if his mom dropped him on his head after birth. I don't know what it is, but this is not normal behavior. You guys know that this is not normal behavior, right? Because you give this woman a hard time. You wanted her to pay your taxes. You want one of her house. You want money from her. And you want the child that she gave birth to that is not yours. She just wants anything from her, anything. Then this is saying a lot, because if you're so obsessed with this woman, why didn't you treat her right? You basically open a spiritual door of darkness to this woman. So darkness keeps coming to her and she has opened another door of darkness to herself as well with her behavior. So CardiB is going to have to pray, She's going to have to fast and pray maybe 2-3 times a day to break this cycle and to get Offset off her back. Because I don't like this. I don't like it. I think it is gaslighting, narcissistic, and he's using her pain for comic relief. He's just trying to insult her. You know what he's calling her? A married whore. That's what he's calling her, but he's not saying the word out loud. He wants to remind the public that she's married to him while having a baby with someone else. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He wants to break her value. You see, and when I say value, right? Because let's keep it real. CardiB is CardiB. CardiB is no Beyonce, right? But at the same time, CardiB, she's loose. She's loose with her words. She's loose with her activities, but she is not known to be promiscuous. She's not known to be the girl who has multiple partners, but he wants to trick us into believing that because she decided that she was not going to wait for the divorce to be finalized and she moved on and she got married, it makes her a promiscuous individual. That's the impression that he wants to put out there of this woman. And he wants to give the impression that he still has power and control over her. You see guys, I don't know if you guys are realizing, do you know the history of how women, slavery happened, right? Where there was slavery against black people. But you do know that there was enslavement of women in their homes as well, where, gone are the days women could not have a job and they would be abused by their husband, and it was legal for the husband to abuse a woman. And many of these women would be abused to the point of being half dead, and the police would not do anything about it because she's alive, she's still breathing, and it took quite a few years for women to come together, start poisoning their husband under, circumstances where a group of women came together, created a patent poison, and women started poisoning their husband because the patent that they developed, it was undetectable. So the man would die from what it seems to be natural cause. And then they realized that there's a pattern. The women are fighting back and they're poisoning their husband, but they just could not prove it. And that's when they started giving women a break. And until this day, if you look at what is happening in and around us, the laws against women have always been so unfair. I don't know why we even bother with men. I mean, the way in which men treat women should be treating men like that. Like they're indisposable. You should only lie with them when you want to procreate. and just leave them. Even if you're married. And it's sad because you know what? Not all men are like this. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying one should be out there being promiscuous. I'm not saying that. But when you get to that point of frustration, you have to say, at what point will women be left alone? At what point? But at the same time, CardiB needs to stop responding to Offset. He loves the attention. He's a drama queen. He loves the drama. He is a drama queen. He loves the attention and he loves to trigger her because whenever he triggers her, he gets excited. It's like a comic relief. It's like a drug to him. He gets a good charge and he feels good and he feels heightened just to see her unhappy. But she needs to start slapping him with cases. Every time he does something, slap him with a lawsuit. He does something, slap him with another. That is what she needs to keep doing. Slapping him with lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits. You can't be out here just suing people because you see, CardiB partially brought this on herself as well. CardiB was treating Offset like he was her son. No one could say anything about Offset. I'm going to sue you for speaking bad about my husband. The internet was telling her, the internet was literally telling her that the man is no good, and every time someone would tell her that this is how Offset is, she was his number one defender. She didn't stop for a second and say, wait a minute. What are the possibilities that these people could be correct? And at what point did she start going to church and say, God, please open my eyes to truly see what this man is, and then you decide, decide from there if you want to pray to God and ask God to change the man in your marriage, but how are you going to consistently live like this? It is not possible for her to consistently live like this with this vulture. This vulture is not giving this woman a break. And it's because she keeps giving this vulture her energy. I don't subscribe to these kind of behaviors. I don't care who you are. This kind of behavior is not nice. And thanks again, Offset, for donating to Jamaica. We appreciate it, but your behavior towards this woman is extremely abusive and you need to stop it. You need to stop it. You're acting like a child without control, like your mama never told you no. And you're hearing no as an adult and you're not accustomed to it. So you're having tantrums if you can't have your way. It's your way or nothing at all. It's very disgusting, extremely disgusting, and it's nauseating because she was there with you. And if you wanted her, why didn't you treat her right? Like, if you cared about her, why didn't you seek therapy? Why didn't you go to church? And why is it that so many families are straying away from the church? I get it. The churches are not perfect, but we can't just ditch our spirituality. One thing I've learned from the imitation Jews sometimes I can't help it. I have to speak the truth. Black people are the real Jews and Israelites, but there's another set out here that are the imposters. I'm sorry. I have to be honest, right? But I'm saying I've learned this from the Jews. No matter what, let nothing or no one in this life take away your spirituality from you. Right? But let's get into this report, guys, so we can go off some reports to add some context and to tie things together and to not be on a mischievous path, as some people think that, once they see one content creator, they believe that they've seen them all, and people just say things that aren't true, and they think we just make up these stories. They're not coming from any source, but trust and believe, this one is real. It's coming from a source, and if you don't know the story, well, buckle in. I'm going to go through a report with you guys so you can have some more information for your reference and verification. Okay, guys. So, according to Hollywood Online, they're saying CardiB is seemingly slamming her obsessed, estranged husband Offset after he alluded to her son with boyfriend Stefon Diggs, being his child due to Georgia law. Now, although Bardi has filed for divorce and moved on with her new man, I wouldn't even say he's their new man because that's everybody's man at this point. With whom she just welcomed a baby boy. She's still legally married to Offset, whom she married in September of 2017. Cardi, you should have listened to the internet and not marry that fool. Now they're saying after dealing with cheating rumors, timeouts, and 2 children, they're going to the kids' name. We're going to leave that out. Cardi confirmed she was single by December 2023. In August 2024, she announced her third pregnancy with Offset right after filing for divorce. And that is why he's not letting her go, because every time she says she's done, she keeps taking him back. So he still thinks she's gonna take him back. And what CardiB did, because she knows this too. She knows that she's weak to him. She used the method of getting under someone new to get the person out of her system. That's the method she used. But she forgot that the number one thing that would have taken her through all of this seamlessly is therapy. You can never win by doing what men do. Life will punish you for, you're a woman trying to play the men game. It doesn't work. Females weren't designed to be like men. We weren't designed to be revengeful. Whenever we try to take revenge, for some reason, it comes back and bite us in our ass. We can't do as the men do. Whenever the relationship goes bad and you find yourself getting addicted and you keep going back to that man, we should not get under someone new, as the saying says. You should find yourself finding a new career, a new hobby, a new skill, along with therapy. That is what we should do. Never be like a man. You won't win. And she's not winning here either, because Stefon Diggs is worse than Offset. And that's just the truth. He's worse than Offset. The only thing is that Offset doesn't throw rocks and hide his hands. That's the only difference. Offset is unapologetic about who Offset is. That's the only thing. But Stefon Diggs, as a partner, he's worse than Offset. And that's just the truth. Now, they're saying after dealing with cheating rumors, timeouts, and 2 children, we read that. CardiB confirmed she was single by December 2023. In August 2024, she announced her third pregnancy, and right after she filed for divorce, we read that. In September 2024, she gave birth to their third child and second daughter, Blossom Bell Cephas. A month later, Cardi and Stefon Diggs were first linked, despite initially denying rumors. Remember, Offset told us that while she was pregnant with their third child, she was having sex with Stefon Diggs. And when Offset commented and said, speak the truth, she said, and did. And then she walked back and said, it's not true. But I believe the first comment, when Offset said she did it and she said, and did it, I believe that she did. Now they're saying in September 2025, Cardi spoke on her divorce and said it's not peaceful at all. I can't even talk about it because it's a court thing, but it's not peaceful. In November 2025, Cardi and Stefon welcomed their first child together, Cardi's fourth, amid the birth of their child whose name hasn't been revealed. Now, Offset tweeted, already got a name for my kid. Oh my God, I didn't even know that he tweeted that. I had no idea he tweeted that. None. That's literally like firing a missile at a country. He's intentional. He's being intentional. That's not good. She needs to file a lawsuit against him for harassment, but she's being too nice. So he's going to keep doing it. She's being too nice. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Let's continue, right? I had no idea he made that tweet. I'm speechless. That's horrible. Horrible. No. Then they say, keep your Spanish-ish to yourself, LOL. He also took to his Instagram story and wrote, my kid as social users highlighted Georgia law, which presumes the baby is legally his as he's still legally married. It's bad. It's bad. She needs to send him a cease and desist. She needs to hit him with a cease and desist. It's bad. I don't think, well, it can get worse than this, but I do hope for CardiB's sake, it doesn't get any worse than this. But guys, we're gonna leave this here. Let me know what you think. Leave your comment below. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. Peace.